is.
Yes. So why are
So,
we celebrating today, Ashwin?
why? Oh, first of all, welcome back, viewers. This is episode number what? Oh, I'm so drunk, I forgot.
36.
36. So, why am I drunk? Well, it is just the name makes me drunk. It is because we were to talk about our favorite brand, our Babaji Old
This is
Monk.
Baba.
So, the Young Turks are back. And they'll say, oh, look at that. Mera hurt, yaar.
Yeah.
So the young turks are back and we are drunk and we are very happy, we are merry. uh, so Anmol, what are the emotions that come in your heart when I say old monk? क्या क्या अरमान जागते हैं, क्या यादें आती
Have you
हैं, क्या?
ever heard about somebody getting butterflies when they see a bottle of old milk? I
Oh
feel
yes.
that. It's a lot of emotions. How I start, like it is fun. It gives you a surur. You
Yes.
want to listen to
Nostalgia. First,
music.
first thing is definitely nostalgia because I
Nostalgia.
think Old Monk, like we can say, it taught us how to drink first. First,
Yes.
it must have been most of our first drinks. Uh, for a few fortunate might say that they started with a scotch or something, but we as student, or if they didn't at least start, it was our usual drink in college and late school, not early school. We are not that sort of bad boys. uh, so in the college or pretty much every second Indian guy's memory, yes, they have had Old Monk in their college days. And why? What was the reason behind it? And they still swear by the rum. Most of the rich
Right.
people, if you see, there are a lot of these famous actors. Recently, you know this actor, Bihari actor Sanjay Mishra. He does a lot of these comic roles. Papa, you must have
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. So he has made a short YouTube video also. Not a YouTube video. It's a short story kind of small movie, and it is dedicated to Old Monk and his friend.
Wow.
So so you can imagine the kind of reach that this brand has. Uh, People are making short stories about the rum, and
Right.
so yes. So I mean, yes, we're not here to get drunk, but we are
Right.
here to discuss the marketing genius behind Old Monk, the marketers that
Marketing
we have,
and brand genius, I will
the
also say
brand
that,
genius. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. I mean,
because it's more than what they have done in marketing. It's
and
how they have
I
to do.
don't think they even planned it, right? And well, this has
Yes.
been so organic. I mean,
Yes.
it has just happened by itself, and that's
Right.
why I say organic. It is. You, they didn't try. They didn't force it down people's throat. Okay, drink our
Right.
stuff. They're not the ones who are sponsoring every party in the town and forcing free booze down everyone's throat, like absolute big brands around the world. Uh,
Right.
all the Diageos,
But
Brincos,
I will say they are the underdogs because they're
yeah,
now
all
the
these
biggest.
big brands, they're forcing their brands down people's throat. You'll see Bacardi. It has all its parties. Absolute is known for its parties. Since I think I was kid, still a teenager when liquor ad was banned in India. You were
Right.
not born. Till that point of time, having ads for whiskeys, ads for rums. Bacardi had a beautiful ad, to be what you wanna be. I used to love those ads. There were these whiskeys, Indian whiskeys, which used to say, I still remember, I think it was Green Label, Seagram's Green Label, something, which used to promote itself by saying, हमारी whiskey पीने से अगले दिन hangover नहीं होता है. Sardar nahi hota. So there's this guy who was drinking with his boss, and his boss is like, "I'll see you in the office tomorrow," and he's like, "I'll see you in the office as well." Next morning, his boss has a headache, and he doesn't have a headache because he was having that whiskey. So you can imagine the kind of ads that used to come. But then there was a break that was given by the Indian government. The tobacco ad for all the good reasons and liquor ad for not so good reasons were stopped because it has a bad influence on people. People still drink well,
Yeah.
and the liquor companies, they found a more clever way to advertise themselves. They started Bacardi, the same
Unique.
ad. They started coming up with the CDs. Bacardi Blast CDs used to come when I was a teenager. Bacardi Blast CDs. Then this Royal Challenger soda started coming.
Yeah. Soda
uh,
ads, and then men will be men. You
Men will be men ad started coming, Imperial
yeah.
Blue, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
So yeah, and there's this shadow marketing that started happening, and not shady but shadow. uh, and then there were these there, there was there's still this marketing genius. His name is Vikram Achanta, because I take his name because he is actually a legend in the when it comes to liquor marketing in India. His company is called Talliho. So they were the one who came up with this idea to do parties and events in the name of liquor, and that is where these Bacardi nights and Smirnoff nights and all sorts of absolute thingy, all these things started, and all these liquor companies went berserk after that. They started pouring because they had huge ad budgets, so they started, they can't spend it on TV ads, so they started giving out free alcohols in these parties. People used to buy expensive tickets for these parties, and then they get them drunk, and the product is being moved. But
Right.
one brand that stood out, no, and stood out, and how,
How?
that it is still the strongest brand in India. People still swear by it. They might, and now they flaunt it also,
Right.
that I drink this brand. This is my brand, and they own it. So,
Right.
and they haven't
It is a
spent
cult following. Once
it,
you drink Old
created.
Monk, you never go out of it.
And you and I, Anmol, we hardly talk about, like people who have throw money into brand marketing and branding, but these kind of geniuses who are, forming cult, uh, like Royal Enfield, Harley Davidson, and then
Right.
there is Old Monk. Like people, they don't have to sell themselves. It sells by itself. People go and buy it, and they wear it like a badge. Okay, I'm an Old Monk drinker.
Yes.
Right, it is like being a Harley rider or Royal Enfield rider. Like it is
Right.
one more badge that people are wearing. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sitting on a bullet, and then I have my Old Monk.
Yeah, the loyalty is so high. If you ask someone who drinks Old Monk, they don't want to go for any other brand.
Correct. Right. So, wait, I'm trying to find out one great picture that I have on my Facebook that a good friend of mine had taken. So, this picture is a good example of how Old Monk gets marketed by its users. So, talking about user generated content,
UGC. Old Monk
UGC.
has everything
Yeah.
since internet was not there. Since that
So
time,
this
everything.
picture is from 10 years ago. It'll just take a few seconds, and I'll show you this picture.
We would love to look at it. Okay.
Yes, it is a beautiful picture, and it has been taken by Rishi, our very good friend. He's a common friend for us, and he always, wants the credit for that picture because it has been beautifully taken. And it just happened that we were on a jungle camp, and I was standing right next to this bottle, with my boots on, and Rishi just said, "Ashwin, don't move." I thought, like, what happened? Is there a snake next to me or what? And then he started taking pictures of my foot. And I didn't know. He was not taking a picture of my foot. He was actually taking the picture of the bottle right next to the campfire. So just give me a second. It should be here any second. Uh, uh, um, Sorry, it's 10 years ago, so just bear with me for a second.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Old Monk is all about memories.
Yeah, all about memories, right?
So we should show that picture to our audience. Even we
Right.
might get a few people talking
Ah,
about it.
found it, found it, found it, found it. Oh, this is such a beautiful picture. All right. Let me share my screen now. All right. So look at this picture.
Oh wow.
So talk about the user generated content. So that's my foot, old monk bottle, chakna, tent behind
That
me,
is the favorite
and the
one.
cigarette packet. You know how classic can it get? So this is how old monk has been, marketed over the time.
Yeah, so many
So
memories. One bottle,
so many good memories related to this brand. Well,
totally.
coming down to a lot is spoken about what we have done. A brief history behind this brand, the journey of Old Monk and the Indian independence, and kind of have a common
They
journey.
kind
Yeah,
of,
they
yeah,
ran parallelly to each other, and it was kind of a national pride at that time because. Mr. Mohan Meekins, the owner of Mohan Meekins Distillery, he bought it from his English master, and even Oberoi
I
has a
think
similar
it
kind.
started off in 1855 and then
Yeah,
in 1949
it
he
all
bought it.
started in Shimla, just like Oberoi's. PRS Oberoi bought Oberoi's from his English owner, and here this was Old Monk was bought by from Edward Dyer, who used to make who had a distillery and a brewery. He used to make beer and whiskey for the Britishers out there. And now there was an Indian owner to an old English brand, so there was a certain amount of pride to it. Then slowly and steadily, yes, the army quota was fulfilled by this distillery. Like most of the army people, they still drink this. So another tough guy and nationalistic attachment to this brand is there because it's related to our armed forces also. Right.
Right,
Later on, Hercules Ram and MC Ram also came into being with the armed forces. But the army people also still swear by this brand. Whoever likes this
right.
brand, they love
Old
it.
monk is, cult.
It is a cult,
So,
and another thing. I mean, there were these brands who were advertising that इसको पीने के बाद hangover नहीं होता है. But I don't know about you. Me and my friends always experience after you have Old Monk, there's hardly any hangover. So
right,
if
yeah,
you,
yeah, of
yes,
course. After old monk, there is hardly any hangover. But
you
of course,
stay.
even after drinking signature, you will get hangover. I won't because I have been there. I have been there.
All right. Well, right now, at the stage that I am right now, Anmol, after 40, you drink anything, you get a hangover. But there was a time when other drinks used to give me hangover, but Old Monk was always my,
Yeah,
fallback plan that, okay, if I have this, I'll show up fresh at work tomorrow. So,
right,
yes. Coming down to the history, yes, Old Monk started, supplying to the army officer, the army quota, in the army canteen. The army officers loved it, obviously, and it became related to the Indian Armed Forces. Became the brand ambassador of Indian Armed Forces. The brand of the Indian Armed Forces, and then those bullet riding tough army guys used to carry it with them. Other people started having it, and it became slowly and steadily, just like bullet.
it became an inspirational product. Like, oh
Yes,
my
it
god,
became an
Indian Army,
inspirational, and then
it lives.
it was so affordable that even the students, the guys who couldn't afford
College
anything,
students can afford it.
right?
Like
So,
basically, like you look forward to drinking that product and feeling that
right.
amazing feeling, vanilla flavor.
Right. Talking about college students, I spoke about Sudhir Mishra, who's a product of National School of Drama in Delhi. So is Piyush Mishra, that Arambha hai Prachanda, that guy from Gangs of Wasseypur. He's also, and then Anurag Kashyap. All these kind of people, whoever starts talking about these kind of people, they're intellectual class also, who didn't have much money, but they used to love getting drunk and talk intellectual stuff after they got drunk. They also, formed their own cult following for this brand. The students who didn't have much money, but they wanted to have a good time. The college students, so all they had to do was share, pitching money together, buy one pawa or buy a adha, and get a bottle. So that it again, there was a different kind of cult that formed. The different pockets. First, there were these tough guys who related with these brands. Okay, we drink this triple X rum by Old Monk.
Yeah.
Uh, हम और कुछ नहीं पीते, हम बस यही पीते हैं. And then I live in Bangalore, and there's this actor called there used to be this actor called Amrish, so there was this movie where he chugs a bottle of quarter of Old Monk, and he says there's no other brand that I have, from his old movie. And there's this and how big movies are in the south of India. And
Right.
there was this Kannada friend of mine who was telling me that there's this uh, scene, and that's what inspired me. And now I drink only Old Monk. So this is the kind of marketing that has happened for this brand over the time. And
And
I
it's
don't
all
know,
organic.
it's all organic. And I don't know if it was intentional or not. I think it was
I don't
intentional.
think it was intentional, because if it would have been intentional, then the result would have been something else, I will say.
Something else, right?
Because
You
it's
cannot
because of
imitate
the
or
producers.
control it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it's just
something that
because of
cannot be
this,
controlled.
like Ashwin, like Royal Enfield. We just
Huh.
love that bike. Even I own a Harley. Still,
Hmm.
when I see a old Royal Enfield, it makes my heart go,
There's a soft corner, there's a soft
Yeah,
corner for that brand. And there's this,
yes,
like, similar, Royal Enfield has a similar kind of story like Old Muck,
yes,
it is
exactly.
related to armed forces. There's a sense of patriotism attached to it, kind of, that it is an Indian produce. And even though Harley Davidson is an aspirational brand for us, but when it comes to Royal Enfield, we have a different feeling for that
Yes,
bike.
different feeling altogether.
Yes.
Especially the old Bullet 350.
Yes. So, but like, sometimes I feel that it might have been intentional also, because even the owners didn't try to spend money on its
Oh,
marketing.
they
Uh,
never spent any money.
they never spent it, even in the during the period of 2000, when
When the market was
there
going
was
down.
going down for Oldmark. And I actually heard this story, whether it was true or not, that Oldmark is going to shut down. So I was pretty sad. Oh, how could this happen?
Yeah.
And you know what had happened after that? People like me, we started buying Old Monk that ये company बंद हो जाएगी.
Oh my God, another the
हाँ.
guerrilla marketing. Just
Yeah,
a word.
guerrilla marketing. Yeah, just a word that was out that this brand is gonna shut down. So we used to talk out to each other. Yeah, yeah, let's buy it. Yeah, how could we let it die out? अपना, there's so much good memories attached to it. How could we let Babaji die? That kind of stuff we used to talk to each other, and by that time we had started earning, and we were making money, and we could have afforded other drinks also. And I remember in 2007 or 8, I was not working; I was abroad, and I had come back to India for a short span of time, and I was working in West Indies. And they used to, in West Indies, rum is a big thing. Appleton Estate, Havana Club, and whatnot. There's so many different kind of rums, and they swear by their rum. So I told them, okay, these rums are nice, but you guys need to try Old Monk. And they were like, "Kya hota hai Old Monk? What is this Old Monk?" So I actually took that bottle of 1 liter rum from India, and made them taste. And those guys said, "This is such an underrated product. This
It
is
is an
actually a very,
underrated.
very premium product." So now, at that point of time, what did we care? हमारे लिए वो ethyl alcohol था. For you also. I mean, we used to get drunk for the sake of drinking it because it was cheap. We also liked the taste.
चीप
Tastes
है,
good.
42% है, अपने इंडियन को और क्या चाहिए, फ्लेवर अच्छा है.
So, but later on, when the how we Indians are, जब गोरा लोग कुछ किसी चीज को अच्छा बोल देता है ना, तो then we start doing the research कि भाई इतना अच्छा है ना. There's a guy who's drinking Ron Zacapa, and he's saying, "Oh, Old Monk is nice. That means there must be
There
something
is
to it."
something.
So I did this research. It is actually a 7 years old rum. There's aged
Yes,
for
it
7 years
is
old, and
7 years old, cheap, and but
they've
close to
maintained
heart.
the quality. They've maintained the quality.
They are maintaining the quality. You
So
still, with every sip, get that a bit of vanilla flavor. You know,
vanilla, that caramel is there.
and
Now we're talking about the notes that are coming out of it. See, you and I, we have suddenly become connoisseurs, and we are, taking out the flavors out of it. Oh, I'm getting the notes of vanilla. Old Monk rum. I mean, you talk to yourself 10 years back who was drinking Old Monk rum. No, 10 years back, you were 10 years old. Sorry. But
that's
okay,
quite
so 7 years back, okay, when you
nice.
were five years back when you were having that rum, and I came and told you, "Are you getting any vanilla notes?" You would have been laughing at me, right?
Yeah, at that point in time, it was just भाई पैक बना अंदर डाल चढ़ा इसको.
Chada. So, I mean, for both kind of both genres of people, this rum caters to them. It
Yes.
is such a good product. And so, talking about it, you actually came across their premium products in different kind of stores. Tell us about that story in Dehradun.
Yeah, of course. So, Old Monk has been innovating for the audience as well. Like, of
Right, they come
course,
up with a few new products, right?
few new products and
Some apple flavor and this and
apple
that,
flavor.
just to
All of the
compete.
flavors are good. They are basically meant for the new generation that is coming in
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
want that shusha. मेरे को
Hmm.
बकार्डी लेमन चाहिए तो मेरे को ओल्ड मॉन्क का भी लेमन दो. एप्पल
Hmm.
दो. वोडका आती है एब्सोल्यूट की तो मेरे
Hmm.
को भी एप्पल दो. ये दो वो दो तो that is there that they are bringing in new flavors. But for people like me, people like you who have a memory with the brand, who want to drink genuine, not the flavor shusha and all. So for them, Old has brought in into two new flavors that I wanted to explore, and I went out here in the market to explore them. One is Old Monk Amber, which is I
Hmm.
think 40 years old or 20 year old, and then
Hmm.
another one is Old Monk Coffee.
Okay.
So if you generally go to a ठेका, देसी
Hmm.
इंडियन ठेका अपना ठेके पे जाओगे, you will get a few selected brands there, like you can get up to Jim Beam. ठीक है,
Hmm.
तो वहां पे you get the normal Old Monk triple extra with that अपना
That Tetra
around.
Pak, Tetra
Yeah,
Pak,
it's the
and the regular bottle.
correct. Yeah. So you get these kind of. So I asked them if you have Old Monk amber with them. So they said no. Old Monk only gives us to supply this. Okay. I said okay. Got it. Then I went to a premium liquor store. That's where I asked them if you have Old Monk. So they said no. Old Monk, we don't have Old Monk that you can find on your Theka. If you want premium versions of Old Monk, we have Old Monk amber. We have Old Monk coffee. So that's where I found out
Hmm.
that Old Monk is supplying the
But
rums
did you
to
have
the.
those Babaji bottles over there
Yeah,
in the
Babaji
premium?
bottles are also only in the premium stores. And
Yes,
also,
and those
one
are
more,
12 years old rums, right?
those are
Those are
12 year old rum.
right.
And then one more thing I found out that the army rum, why
Hmm.
you think that army old monk rum is a bit harder? I was reading a report.
It is
So
actually
in
stronger,
US,
no?
it
Yeah.
is actually stronger. It is 50% alcohol in
Hmm.
some cases. And
So they
whereas
make a separate batch for armed forces.
yes, separate batch for army and for international also they make a separate batch with up to 40% alcohol because I
Okay.
think in US there is a laws or something that you cannot sell above 40.
Is
So
it so?
that is yeah, I found it on the internet that
Acha.
there is a proper research on it. People telling that in USA, Indians who are right now living in US, they are telling that oh, we still
ये
want
चढ़ती
that.
नहीं
We want that
है
40.
नुकसान हो गया बेंचो डॉलर में दे रहे हैं और कम दारू पी रहे
सही में. But
हैं
again, again the cult following and brand loyalty. Indian बाहर गया तब भी not going
हाँ
to any other brand. They still want old monk.
Hmm.
Still the
No,
quality is
I mean,
good.
when I was in the US, I found out Kingfisher, which was actually bottled in the US, and I had it and didn't taste anything like the one bottled in India. So,
Right.
yeah,
In India is just
we
kind of
Indians
a
do that. We Indians do that.
Indian.
विदेश जाके दही भल्ले खोजेंगे. But yeah, Old Monk has a different
Old monk is
fan following.
altogether different way. Yeah. And
So,
then old monk innovation is also there, but again, at the heart, the core product stays the same. That
hmm,
triple X rum that we all want.
there you
I'm
all
struggling to find a bottle from army from the last 20 days. Again, brand loyalty. I want the army one only.
right.
So that is there. Brand has built whatever it is from the last 50, 60, 70 years. I will say it is more of emotions rather than any other thing because of course you and I we have gone to so many bars, we have drink as expensive whiskey as we could have drunk, but at the end when we come down to our homes we just want one pack of old monk to relax on, to
No, even
rely on it, to rely
a
on.
lot of times, even in the where I go to expensive bars also, and I am not really sure what I'm going to have. I order a large old monk with soda and ice. I put a lime in it, and I sit and sip it and enjoy it. It is like I said. It's a friend for all seasons. You
Yeah,
know,
friend for all seasons,
uh,
especially if we
you
come
want
down
to
to
sit in your kacha banyan and sit with your friends with chakna on newspaper in a hostel. It's good for that as well. You want to do a karobar. with
It's
your
good for that.
friends. You want to sit with your sweetheart and stargazing outside. It's good for that as well. Like I showed you during camping, it is perfect.
Yes.
It looks great. The bottle looks great out there. But even if when you're sitting in a premium bar, you order Old Monk, no one's gonna judge you.
Yeah, no
They'll
one is
say
gonna.
this guy knows his drink.
Yeah, of
A
course. There is a lot of respect.
lot of respect. So the entire cult following that has been formed around it has. I mean, this is a case study in itself. The
I
all
mean,
these.
if you see the price of Old Monk
Hmm,
and whiskeys like 8 p.m. Imperial Blue or all of these whiskeys,
hmm,
you know, starting from lower to higher,
hmm,
so they are pretty much in the same lines of where you get an Old Monk. But
hmm.
if you go to a bar and ask, give me one peg of 8 p.m., people will start to judge you. But if you say
Yeah.
Old Monk, people will say, yeah, this
Yeah,
this
because
is a
8
good.
p.m. 8 p.m. में ठर रहा है. Let's accept the
8 p.m.
fact.
तो कर रहा है.
ठर रहा है वाला ये वो पी
Even
के सबने.
other rums like I recently, last year I got one rum from Army 1965.
Hmm.
So it's again like a tharra. You drink it, it will hit you here.
No, see, I'll be honest. I've had Hercules rum. I've had MC rum as well. Both are decent rums, like
Yeah,
it is comparable to Old Monk, but
yeah,
Old Monk has its own charm. That bottle, holding that bottle itself. First of all, the shape of the
yes.
bottle. I,
Shape of the bottle.
I don't
It's
remember,
pretty.
but I've heard that the bottle is a copy of an English whiskey brand, which I'm forgetting which brand it is, but it has been copied from that. So that time, obviously, it was we were copying everything. So,
Right.
but that bottle became an identity in itself for Old Monk, and it has stayed stuck to it. And I think that brand at that time though we were copying all the English songs as well, and all
Yes.
the and there was no rules against it. And now that it is an Indian brand and it is stuck that, but that bottle itself has a charm. It looks that
Right.
like that old pirate's rum bottle, like something that Jack Sparrow would carry with him. So the bottle itself, I think organically everything went right for this brand. If you
Right.
look at it, right? I mean, that bottle, it gives you such a great feeling just to hold
Great
it.
feeling, and
Yeah.
you need not to throw away the bottle. You can decorate it.
Something this reminds me of Croc, the guy who snatched away McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers. Uh, yeah, you remember the Founder movie
Yes,
where
yes, yes. The
he's
founder.
he's talking about the brand McDonald's, and he's like, "I just love the sound of McDonald's. It sounds so good. It sounds tasty." I don't know, he's talking about that brand, but he's just talking about the feel of the name McDonald's. Someone asked him, why didn't you change the brand, because it was someone else's family name that you took over. And he's like, you're not getting the point. I just fell in love with that name. The feel of it was so nice, and that is what I'm talking about. Old Buck, the very feel of the look and feel of the bottle is so good.
Yeah, and in the digital era, even like, of course, Old Monk might not be officially marketing them, but people are marketing so well online. They are dedicated pages, there are dedicated Facebook groups, Old Monk fans, and something like this. And even people going to Gulmarg, they are taking ice in a glass and then pouring in
And
Old
pouring
Monk.
so much
Again,
user
market has
generated content, so much user
so much
generated content.
influence.
Yeah.
People are posting on stories with Old Monk bottle.
I
So
mean, there's celebrities who are making videos on it.
yeah,
There's celebrities who are making short movies on it.
right.
So you can imagine the kind of organic reach this brand is getting.
Major
So,
thing is that brand has maintained the quality and the pricing, I will say. That is something that has given it an edge over the others. Because see, if you over the years, other brands have become very expensive, or they cost you a bit on the pocket, and they don't taste as great as Old Monk is. And considering Old Monk, we have been hearing it from our grandfathers, then fathers, and now us, and
yes.
then we are promoting it further to the
Oh
coming
yes, that
generation.
reminds me that this father-son video on Facebook or Instagram where the son comes drunk and his mother is shouting, "Oh, daru pi kya hai, daru pi kya hai?" And the father is like,
Right,
"Nahi,
right,
nahi,
right.
nahi, nahi piya, nahi piya." Yeah. Then he stops him and is like, "Kya? Old milk pi kya hai?" Good choice. But he slaps him and he says, "Zyada mat
Yes,
pina."
yes, yes, yes. I've seen that video.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the kind of even these writers, even that actor has a look on his face. It's so original because he
Right.
also knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he's like he smells it and he's like, oh, that's a old monk peak. It has its own signature smell.
Right.
So I think only thing that compares to it, I mean, it is not exactly comparable, but the another drink is Jack Daniels in the US. It has the
Hmm.
same kind of similar, I wouldn't say same kind of following in the US, where people, it's like being American means, you'll see all these American movies where the hero is holding a bottle of Jack and
Yeah.
Jack and Coke is the same way rum and Coke over here in India is I think I shouldn't have brought it up because it's kind of diluting its charm. But yeah, it's another favorite drink of mine, Jack Daniels. But yeah, only thing I can say compares to that kind of craze, it's still not that close. Jack
Right.
is still not that close, actually. All right.
Awesome. I think we have covered up everything for our audience.
Now I'm thirsty. I need to have that drink. So, Anmol, you have to give me the rest of the day off. All right.
All
So
right. Thank you
on
so
that
much.
note, I mean, viewers, I mean, you have your own old monk story. You have your pictures. You feel free to share it with us. Put a comment, put your stories. We might, Anmol and we might share your stories next time in another podcast.
Yeah, of
If
course.
you
And
put your
even
comments.
as we are going to put this podcast on our website as well, so we are going to put your pictures in the description of
Yes,
that
yes.
blog post. So we are looking
So
forward to your pictures. We are going to post them on our website, and
yes, your
it's
old
going.
monk story, your old monk story with your dad, with your friend, with your girlfriend. So feel free to post it. If you like this podcast, it brought back some memories. Please share those memories with us. We would love to read those out also sometime. Well, let's
Of
have
course.
one podcast where we will read out our viewers' comments and the
Perfect.
feedbacks.
We are going to do that.
We're gonna do that as well. But this one actually calls for it. We need some interaction from you, and please let us know what are your old monk stories. Let's be friends. Let's open a portal and have a conversation.
All right.
Okay. On
See
the
you in the
that
next
note,
episode.
yeah.
On that note, goodbye.
Bye bye.